So my name is Caroline, and I am going to be asking Marcus some questions. So the topic that I'm doing the question on is how are Latinas represented by Hollywood? So I'm going to be asking Marcus some questions, and then I'll be relating that to some stuff that we learned this semester. So how are you today, Marcus?
Good.
Okay. So the first question I have is, can you name a famous Latina actress?
Yeah.
Who?
Plenty.
Can you
Sofia
name one?
Vergara, Salma Hayek, Zoe Saldana.
Okay, one's fine. Okay. Can you recall a TV show or film that featured a Latina in the main role?
What's that? Something Family?
Modern Family?
Modern Family. Yeah.
Okay. What comes to mind when you imagine a Latina celebrity?
I don't know. It kind of depends because they're pretty big spectrum of how they act. You know, some are like very like aware of like their indigenous roots and sort of have a different perspective on like being like American actresses, and then you have people like Gina Carano, which I guess she's Italian, but you know, where they look a certain way, but they're kind of like very conservative and, you know, put on like this sort of bravado's not the right word, but yeah, I guess like if there's a negative stereotype, it's like, oh, they're angry, like they have like righteous anger or something like that, but
Okay.
that's it.
Interesting. Okay. And then what are some Hispanic stereotypes that you have noticed in film?
The anger, right? You know, like don't get your Latina girlfriend mad, you know, because they'll hurt you or something like that. That's like the main one, you know. I feel like they don't have as many negative stereotypes. Like Hispanic men have way more negative stereotypes than Hispanic women do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some positive representations of Latino culture in film that you can recall?
Like Latina culture.
Well, Latino culture in general.
I haven't seen anything for a while that I think is like nothing I've seen, you know. I think end of the day when it comes to like movies like that and TV shows, unfortunately I gravitate towards the negative stereotype, like Narcos, you know. Like those are like the shows that I watch that are like supposed to be like Mexico or something like that.
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
How accurately do you think that Hollywood portrays Latino women and Latina culture, or Latino culture, I should say?
I don't think there's like very prominent negative stereotypes. You know, the stereotypes are like family oriented. Yeah, family oriented. You know, can get angry. You know, like it's like the joke of like, oh, like you cheated on me in your dream, so I keyed your car or something. Those are the stereotypes, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
What movies or TV shows do you think have positively contributed to Latina representation?
Probably Modern Family a little bit, even though you know she's like kind of like a stereotype where she has like the super heavy accent and always is talking about like her old country. There's a show called Lioness, but I guess like Zoe Saldana isn't really supposed to be like Hispanic. Like it's not like that's a prominent feature of the show. Yeah, I mean, I watch mainly sci-fi and horror, so it's not a lot of.
So you did mention the accent thing. Why do you think accents influence the roles that Latinos get?
Because that way it's kind of like hammering in. You know, it's like it's one thing to have like a Hispanic person on your show and like they sound like I'm speaking right now. It's another thing to have a Hispanic person on your show, and it's, you know, they're like the stereotypical, I guess what, like fresh off the boat sort of character, right? Where they speak broken English, they don't understand like customs, even though the customs aren't all that different. Yeah.
How has Latina representation in movies and television changed over the years?
There probably was more. They probably focused more on like gang culture at some point, you know. And that's why I said like Hispanic men, I think, get like a worse sort of societal rap than Hispanic women. Yeah, so I there are more shows now that are like understanding of different cultures.
What responsibility does Hollywood have when telling stories about immigrant families or Latino communities?
To tell them accurately.
Okay. So, since you did mention the different stereotypes, I'm just going to read some stuff from what we learned about this semester. So, from the Crash Course on Hollywood's Latino Imagery, the history of Latino images in U.S. cinema is in large measure a pageant of 6 basic stereotypes. There's the El Bandido, the harlot, the male buffoon, the female clown, the Latin lover, and the dark lady. So you said that you felt like there was more male stereotypes in regards to Latino culture. And it seems like there's kind of like half and half. So the 3 different female stereotypes is, the first one is the harlot. Since the harlot is a slave to her passions, her conduct is simplistically attributed to her inherent nymphomania. In true stereotypical fashion, we are never provided with any deeper motivation for her actions. She is basically a sex machine, innately lusting for a white male. And then there's the female clown that our text mentioned. The female clown is the comic counterpart of the Latino male buffoon, and like the harlot, exemplifies a common device that the Hollywood narrative employs to neutralize the screen's Latina sexuality. And then finally, we have the dark lady. The female Latin lover is virginal, inscrutable, aristocratic, and erotically appealing precisely because of these characteristics. Her cool distance is what makes her fascinating to Anglo males. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I guess I just haven't seen anything recently that like does that. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that's true. I think one that they might be missing, because when you said the dark lady, I thought like, oh, they're gonna talk about like Santeria and stuff. But you didn't. Mm-hmm. But I think that is one, right? Like, it might be like more specific to like Caribbean culture, but you know, when you like think about Pirates of the Caribbean 2 with Tia Dalma, where like her lips are like all black, and you know, and she's like doing like dice rolls for the, you know, like fate rolls with like teeth and stuff. That's pretty common. Yeah, and like a lot of Caribbean even and like Hispanic movies, there's like, you know, some witch doctor like character. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I do feel like those stereotypes are still pretty common, especially with the accents thing. Our text mentioned that, or like our videos that we watched mentioned that like a lot of Hispanics find trouble getting roles, like unless they have like a fake accent. So like the stronger accent they have, the more chance they have with getting certain roles. So definitely some things to think about when choosing films. So Anyways, thank you, Marcus.